Welcome back. We're about to go into this video about this situation that happened with the council and shit. It's basically gonna be a debate between NANACY, MACE, and JASMINE, CROCKETT. Apparently some shit happened. I don't know for sure. I ain't watched it yet. I ain't seen it. So shit. We gonna find out together. Shit.
Is this 5? Mm-hmm. Any further members seek recognition?
Mr. Chair.
Chair, recognize Ms. Crockett.
I have an amendment at the desk.
So there's 5. Will the clerk, everyone has the amendment. Everyone has the Crockett amendment on the desk. Will the clerk please report the amendment?
An amendment to the rules of the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform for the 119th Congress is offered by Ms. Crockett of Texas.
Without objection, the amendment is considered as read. I reserve a point of order. The gentlewoman is recognized for 5 minutes to explain her amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. During the 118th Congress, Oversight Republicans disbanded one of the most important subcommittees in Congress, the Subcommittee on Civil Rights and Civil Liberties. And now in the 119th Congress, the chairman and House Republicans have decided to prioritize the demands of the real president, Elon Musk, and his billionaire friends over the needs of the American people. Now, we are about to approach the birthday of Martin Luther King. It's actually tomorrow. And on January 20th will be the inauguration of Donald Trump, but it will also be the observation of MLK Day. And the fact that we have decided that in this country we are not going to honor civil rights should be something that we all take issue with. Considering the fact, for some that don't know what civil rights are about, because some people only believe that it deals with black folk, let me explain.
Motherfucker.
Civil and political rights are a class of rights that protect individuals' freedom from the infringement by governments, social organizations, and private individuals. They ensure one's entitlement to participate in the civil and political life of society and the state. Defined another way, the right to be free from discrimination, the freedom to worship as we choose, the right to vote for our elected representatives, the protections of due process, the right to privacy. If any of that sounds familiar, it is because these are rights that are born out of our Constitution, something that we all supposedly have sworn an oath to, and we swear to not only, we don't just swear to it, we are supposed to protect those rights. Interestingly enough, we just had the funeral of one of our beloved presidents, and I caught a flight to Austin on the day of the...
I'm sorry, I don't know where the fuck she going with this dumbass shit. I didn't know Jimmy Carter was beloved. I didn't know he was beloved. When the fuck do we love Jimmy Carter? 1, 2, bitch, what the fuck do our civil rights? At the end of the day, I want to say this for anybody who have to speak on black people in the civil rights movement. At the end of the day, we was the ones getting bit by dogs for this shit. At the end of the day, we was the ones getting killed and lynched for this shit. Bitch, at the end of the day, we stand behind it because at the end of the day, it's because of us that the shit got pushed and made. So at the end of the day, we are the gatekeepers of civil rights, kind of, sort of. But civil rights, like she just said, which is why I don't understand why it was even needing to be a civil rights bill, is already in the fucking Constitution. This is where they keep fucking fooling us. They be pulling that wool over our eyes and be making it seem like we free, but we already have these rights. We supposed to already have these rights. But these are rights that we had to fight for. But this is the thing, they didn't have to make a bill. They just did that shit to be on some like, we just gonna do something.
And I had the honor of sitting next to someone who was a little familiar with the White House. That person was Lucy Baines Johnson. And when I tell you that she is a wealth of information, I really mean that. And when we had an opportunity to talk about what she experienced as her father was president during a time in which, honestly, our country was on fire. And I would argue that, unfortunately, our country is on fire right now. When I first ran for office, I ran for the state house and said that we were in the midst of a modern day civil rights movement. And I have not been convinced otherwise just yet. But this is the daughter of the president that signed the Civil Rights Act of 1964. She was also there when he signed the Voting Rights Act of 1965. And to be perfectly honest, without that voting rights, I don't believe that I actually would have a seat in Congress. And so I do believe in preserving the fact that everyone should be entitled to real and true representation, because I do have a Section 2 seat as our Voting Rights Act has been decimated. But one of the stories that she told me was that her father asked her about coming over to the Congress for the signing of the bill as it relates to the Voting Rights Act. Now, for her, it was a bit inconvenient as an 18-year-old to have to leave the White House and go over to Congress. And she asked her father, why should we go over to the Congress, Daddy, to sign this particular bill? And she said, we need to go over to the Congress because we need to pay due respect to those members of Congress that knew that voting for this bill meant that they would not be returning to Congress, but they had the courage to do what was right for this country and make sure that everyone's voices were going to be heard. The one thing that we could do, the very small thing that we could do, is have a little bit of courage and decide that we are going to reinstitute this particular subcommittee, because unfortunately, I don't see the type of courage that the people that served back in the 60s had coming out of some of our colleagues. And so I'm asking you to do the courageous thing today and just institute a subcommittee that would make sure that we are looking out for those protections of everyone in this country, to make sure that we have real freedom, something that we all supposedly espouse to believe in. And with that, I will yield.
Mr. Chairman.
Ladies, time's expired. Any member seek recognition?
Yes.
That bitch just said a whole lot of fucking nothing. She didn't say shit at all. She didn't say shit at all. That bitch didn't say shit at all. She just wasted all that fucking time for what?
Oh, Ms. Mace was first. I'm sorry. Ms. Mace.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, I don't know what's going on today. I find it extremely rich and offensive. So we're talking about civil rights. I'm the former ranking member on the Civil Rights Subcommittee, something I believe in civil rights and civil liberties of all Americans. And we were talking about you.
I fuck with Nancy Mace all the time. I just remember who the fuck she was. I didn't even just realize that. Whole time they actually fucking with her. They been sending death threats at her. Trans niggas. Man, hey, them bitch niggas and them nigga bitches, they need to chill with that shit, nigga. Just because women don't want you in the bathroom, in the restrooms, in the changing room with them, nigga, don't mean shit, nigga. Don't do that shit, nigga. Niggas need to start standing up on that business with the women. Fuck is wrong with these niggas? I don't know what's... I say that much. Niggas ain't moving like how they did in the 60s, because the niggas in the 60s wouldn't have never stood for this shit, because you got daughters out here, you got nieces out here, mothers, sisters, all type of shit. Anything cap.
Infringement of individual people. Also, quote, the right to privacy of individuals. Coming from a party that can't define what a woman is and won't give women the right to privacy. You all want men with penises, chicks with dicks, in the bathroom with us. You want women to be forced to undress in front of men in the locker room and in dressing rooms. And it's so hypocritical for you to sit here and say and be, screaming from the rooftops about the right to privacy and civil rights when you don't respect women. And you don't respect women who've been raped, women who are victims of sexual abuse. And you want me, a victim of rape, a survivor of rape, to go into a locker room and be forced to undress in front of a man? You have to be effing kidding me. So I don't want to hear about you talk about rights, individual rights, civil rights, because you can't find the courage from the 60s to fight for women all around America, fight for women like me, every single woman. And as a rape survivor, I shouldn't have to explain to you why women have rights and why women, when we're in the bathroom, when we're in the locker room, when we're in a dressing room, why I don't feel safe when there is a man nearby. And the fact that we're going here and we're going to say all these things is the ripeness of...
I gotta pause this shit right quick. This is exactly why the fuck I be mad when niggas just be like, they gonna do what they want to do anyway. You need to be more protective of women. You need to be more protective, period. When it comes to your daughters, nigga, even if you got sons, if you're a father, period, you need to be more protective of these children. You need to be more protective, period. You a man, that's your whole role. That's the whole point of your role in life, nigga. It ain't even about being a nice guy. It's about being a gentleman, nigga. It's about being respectful. It's about being a real nigga. And at the end of the day, a lot of these niggas ain't real. That's the problem. And a lot of these bitches is too careless. Stop being so fucking careless before you end up in a situation you don't really need to be in. This is the shit I be talking about. Them bitches want to be mad when something happened to them when we was trying to prevent it in the first fuck place.
Hypocrisy on the Hill. People need to tell the truth. And if we're going to talk about the rights of individuals, we have to talk about it Everybody has rights, including women. And at some point, men are infringing on the rights of women. We just had it today. We just had a vote about protecting women and girls in sports. And I believe it wasn't one, it was two people from the Democrat Party who voted to protect women's rights in sports today. Two. So Mr. Chairman, this is a deeply offensive conversation to me today. We want to talk about real freedom. Women have freedom in this country. Women have the freedom to go to a private women's only space and not see a man in it. Women have the right to change and not be feared that somebody with their sexual perversion, someone who's confused about their gender, we have the right to feel safe in these spaces. We have the right to know that we're not going to have trans people filming us in the bathroom. How many of these trannies are taking selfies? These men are taking selfies in women's spaces in the bathroom. It's gross. It's disgusting. So if we're going to talk about civil rights, let's talk about the rights of women in this country and how you are stripping them away every single day. And you're doing it in your legislation. You're doing it in your messaging. You're doing it on X. You're making women feel unsafe in this country. And you're making the opportunity for women and girls to be raped, to be sexually abused in this country even greater than they've ever been. So don't come over here with your attitude and talk to me about rights when you're trying to take my rights as a woman, a rape survivor, away. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back.
Hey, she just snapped off. But that bitch goofy as fuck. I don't know what the fuck that bitch was talking about. She wasn't talking about shit. And I hope she wasn't talking about no motherfucking trans rights, bitch. What the fuck? I'm finna go probably see what the next video is if they got one. But they got that shit fucked up. She got that shit twisted. Like that woman said. And she did mention this shit before. She mentioned this shit on multiple interviews. I'll pull them shits up right now if I got to for niggas. I'll put that shit in the little motherfucking description. I'm gonna put this shit in the description, motherfucker. But no, that bitch was just goofy as fuck. I don't even know where the fuck she was going with her point. So she was taking up for trans niggas to go in the bathrooms and be in spaces, and you saying you taking up for their right. At the end of the day, nobody's stopping them from being or dressing how they want to dress. Thing is, that's a public space in a public area. That's the problem. Nobody cares what you do in the privacy of your own home. These are public spaces. Women don't be liking that shit for real, and it ain't just black women out here. And them the ones that really be cool with that shit. But nah, that shit ain't cool. It's really not. But nobody's trying to stop their civil fucking rights. I don't know what the fuck that bitch is talking about. They have the right to vote. They have the right to fucking do whatever the fuck they want to do. They able to dress like a fucking woman. What more the fuck do they can cut their dick off? What else do niggas want to do? Like, nigga, that's all we gonna allow you to do, bro. I'm gonna just say that, like, and I don't know what the fuck the next generation gonna want niggas to do, but at the end of the day, nobody really wants that shit for real. That shit ain't cool. It's not comfortable for everybody. It's just something that you want to fit your lifestyle. But the world ain't about your lifestyle. The world ain't about everybody's lifestyle. Everybody has to move a certain way within the world. So do you, nigga. We can't all be out here breaking laws and just robbing banks and doing dumb shit out here, nigga. Niggas want to run around busting guns all day, nigga. That ain't cool, nigga. That's what niggas want to do. The fuck? That ain't something niggas supposed to be doing. It's not cool. And niggas need to be fighting up for these women's rights and stop acting like we don't need to be involved in certain, or even listening to bitches when they say we don't need to be involved in women's body. You're raising women at some point in your life, if you are or if you're not. And there's a lot of men out there who have a lot of daughters. So you need to know what's going on with your daughter and how she's growing up, and you need to be able to explain shit to her when she come to you or she go to her mama. But you should be able to have some answers too, nigga. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the description. I mean in the comments.
Hey, gotta know your purpose, understand what worth is. These snakes is lurking, observing, trying to close your curtains. These